Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to NXT Roadblock, and tonight we are kicking off this NXT Roadblock PLE with the vacated NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. You got JC Jane and Fallon Henley. Essentially, this is an open challenge of what Adam Pearce has set up here. Both these women are going to team up to take on a mystery team here, or as many teams that comes out here necessarily. It's a big time opportunity for the women's division to step up to the very plate that we have here. JC Jane certainly has that tag team experience, being in a former tag team with Gigi Dolan. And Fallon Henley, she also has had that brief opportunity in the NXT Women's North American Championship division, losing to Thea Hale at that time, but ultimately we're going to see how it's going to fare for both of these women. They don't know who on the NXT roster, the tag team division, is accepting this. Big time opportunity for the women back there to step up to the plate and honestly get that opportunity that they're all wanting to have in this breakout opportunity. Hold on a minute. Stephanie Vacure, welcome to NXT. And she is going to have her PLE moment, it seems, as she seems like she's throwing her name into the tag team division. What a way to debut for an NXT debut, an NXT PLE debut, going after the women's tag team championships. Absolutely massive for Stephanie Vacure here live at NXT Roadblock. One of the biggest names on the independent scene has been signed here to NXT. Welcome, Stephanie Vacure, to NXT. Cannot wait to see what she can accomplish there, especially in the tag team division. But the question is, who is joining her tonight? Oh, another massive name coming to the women's division. It looks like one of the major signings in NXT history is joining Stephanie Vacure. Julia is here tonight. This is absolutely massive for the women's division as well as the tag team division. Two top names signing to NXT, but they're not just here to be here. They're not here to go after the, let's say, the NXT Women's Championship right now. No, they're kicking off. They want gold right away, and they're coming for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. This is absolutely massive. What a way to kick us off here at NXT Roadblock. But the thing is, for Julia and Stephanie Vacure, do they have that team chemistry to work together? Fallon Henley and obviously JC Jane, they've worked together for a little bit now. So obviously a little bit more team chemistry compared to Julia and Stephanie Vacure. But hey, that necessarily does not mean that they're going to beat Stephanie and Julia. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. JC Jane and Stephanie Vacure will kick us off. Referee has made the match official. Look at JC Jane with an absolute shot to the face. She is coming right out of the gate, sending a message to her, and a little variation of a natural selection from Miss JC Jane. especially coming out right out of the gate. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. As an impressive neck breaker there from JC Jane right there, taking down Stephanie Vaquer. I'm gonna go ahead and get that tag, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. And now Fallon Henley just going to look to go to work here. Going to look to get the pinfall, but there is a rope break. And it's probably the early jitters right now for Stephanie Vaquer and obviously Julia. Certainly it's going to take some time to get that NXT feeling out process. Obviously very dominant on the independent scene all over the world here. But WWE is a whole different ball game, and we're going to see what they can bring to the table. As Julia gets the tag in here, going for a chop, but Fallon Henley one step ahead of Julia here. And obviously both teams don't know what each other are going to be kind of bringing to the table, especially Julia and Stephanie Vaquer being major single stars, stepping into the tag team division tonight, looking to capture tag team gold. So JC Jane going to take her time here. She doesn't need to feel rushed, it seems. She's going to continue to go to work here, live at NXT Roadblock, live here in Orlando, Florida. A massive, massive night ahead of us, including the major triple threat matchup in your main event of the evening, as it will be Drew McIntyre and Shinsuke Nakamura challenging for the NXT Championship, as it will be a triple threat match where Ethan Page defends against Nakamura and McIntyre. Also, the vacated NXT Tag Team Championships will be on the line as A-Town Down Under take on the Hardy Boys to crown new Tag Team Champions. Amongst many other big-time matches here tonight, as Stephanie Vaquer going to look to get some offense going, coming right after JC Jane now. So almost a little variation of a cross-face maneuver. Stephanie could honestly make JC Jane tap out here, but a little bit too early, possibly for a submission tap out, at least early on here. We'll see if Stephanie will continue that submission as a big-time Hurricane Rana takes down Stephanie Vaquer, and we'll see if JC Jane wants to get a tag to Fallon Henley, and she will. And a big clothesline takes down the other challenger here. Stephanie, though, telling Fallon Henley to get up to her feet here. What is she thinking? Thought maybe a springboard maneuver, maybe just playing some mind games in general here, as now Stephanie Vaquer with a jawbreaker. Down goes Fallon Henley. And you're slowly but surely here starting to see what Julia and Stephanie Vaquer can bring to the table here. Obviously more dominant in singles fashion, but obviously in a tag team matchup, they're both going to have to work together to obviously beat their opponents and become the tag team champions. But, you know, certainly a whole different ball game in the terms of tag team action and singles division. As now Fallon Henley going to look for the single leg Boston Crab right there in the middle of the ring. Let's see if Julia can somehow grab that bottom rope. But no, she decides to take the easy, or I should say the hard way out of it. Oh, it was a big slap right across the chest there. And look at Julia. She's absolutely fired up, as she should be. As now JC Jane getting that hot tag in the ring here. Julia does not give a damn, though. Julia, though, from behind. Ooh, what a front slam. Now good old head scissors elbow right across the temple. Certainly will definitely do the work little by little there. It's Julia again. Looking very impressive here. Julia just dissecting her opponent's body right now. As Julia now gonna maybe look for a tag. Yes, she does. Here comes Stephanie Vaquer. Can she help out her tag team partner Julia and walk out with the tag team championships? But a big reversal from JC Jane, who has championship gold aspirations. Look at Stephanie Vaquer out of nowhere, almost eat defeat. Big boot there to JC Jane. Not gonna go for the pinfall. That could have been it. And now here comes Stephanie Vaquer, has her up for a big time takedown there. And Stephanie Vaquer absolutely eating this up, ladies and gentlemen. She feels like she is in the right moment to walk out victorious. Fallon Henley going back and forth with her, connecting with a big knee right to the midsection. Is now Fallon Henley going to go high risk district. Here we go. Fallon Henley halfway across the ring. Missile drop kick misses. Stephanie Vacure, can she capitalize? Oh, but a big elbow strike from Fallon Henley. Does not want to deal with that. But now, package pile driver? No! The big knee strike. We've seen that. We've seen that on independent scene before. But first time here in universe mode. And that almost won her the vacated NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. JC Jane, though, saving her day and keeping them in this very matchup with a breakup at the very last second. Oh, Fallon Henley rolling up. Stephanie Vacure, but no. Here comes the tag. Now Julia's in the matchup here. Can Julia somehow, someway put away Fallon Henley? Here we go. Fallon Henley's in trouble. The brain buster of sorts. Down goes Fallon Henley. Not going to go for the pinfall. Julia realizes there's going to be more done for them to walk out with the championships. As now Julia, with another sort of brain buster type of maneuver, takes down Fallon Henley. And it looks like the tag team titles very well could be going to the favor of Julia and Stephanie Vacure. Let's see if it does. 2, 3, yes it is. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, Julia and Stephanie Vacure are your NXT Tag Team Champions. You saw the glimpses of what has made them the top signings in NXT's history. You saw it tonight. A hard-fought match from JC Jane and Fallon Henley. But when you have two top women in the industry signing to NXT like they did tonight, coming out here, bringing the fight, two single megastars in the women's division colliding together to do one thing, and that is to become the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. You saw it tonight, and there at that moment you saw JC Jane keeping the matchup going a little bit, but Julia right here would start hitting some brain busters and all sorts of different maneuvers. Bam! That was the start of the end. Eventually, where Julia would pick up the 1, 2, and 3 for her team. And like we said, new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. What a main NXT PLE debut for both of these megastars here in NXT, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for joining us so far, and I can only imagine what the rest of NXT Roadblock is going to look like tonight.
The following is scheduled for one fall, and is for the NXT Women's Championship.
And now with the NXT Women's Championship on the line, you have a very personal NXT Women's Championship matchup. Jada Parker winning a Battle Royal weeks ago on NXT to earn this opportunity, and Jada Parker and Tiffany Stratton would just go downhill from there. Jada Parker looking to make a name for herself, does not care, does not give a damn who's in her way. She's here to make an impression very early that she is not a woman to be messed with. And Jada Parker is looking to defeat one of the mainstays here in NXT, a woman that has been great in her stay here in NXT ever since she's joined NXT, when she's debuted NXT throughout the years here. Tiffany Stratton, one of the better wrestlers that we've learned and dealt with, and she's had amazing matches, breakout tournaments, the NXT Women's Championship. She's had those undefeated streaks. She did have to deal with the likes of Charlotte Flair there briefly before, obviously, Tiffany Stratton was able to get the NXT Women's Championship back. Stratton now a two-time Women's Champion here in NXT. and now will look to continue her reign as NXT Women's Champion here on NXT. But certainly this matchup, it is going to be hard-hitting. You're going to see a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this matchup between both of these women. They know what's on the line, not just the NXT Women's Championship, but the future of NXT as well. Jada Parker is a hard-working woman. She's literally gonna she's gonna put Tiffany Stratton in her not in her place, I would say, but you're gonna put her in the terms of what you would say. What would you say of in the terms of testing the champion? She's gonna push her to her limits. You're gonna see it right here, right now, live in NXT.
Introducing the challenger. From Port St. Lucie, Florida, Jada Parker. And her opponent, from Prior Lake, Minnesota, the NXT Women's Champion, Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffany Stratton looks like she's ready. Jada Parker looks like she is ready as well. We are just moments away from having the NXT Women's Championship being decided here, live here in Orlando, Florida, for this major NXT Roadblock PLE. Referee has officially rung the bell. Here we go. Little feeling out process between Tiffany and Jada. Obviously, the tension has been building for weeks and weeks, and now it comes here live to Roadblock. Something has to give. The experience of Tiffany Stratton, or will it be Jada Parker, the new and up-and-coming woman here in NXT? Something has to give tonight. And again, you're seeing that feeling out process, that collar elbow tie-up, working the arms, both women trying to get the advantage, a little bit slower to try to do that, is that shoulder being twisted. That is not where you want to be, as Jada Parker gets hit with that snapmare takedown, and now a little bit of a rest hold of sorts, trying to slow down Jada Parker as well as, oh, we possibly could have a submission hold here. Referee being very lenient, not checking up on it, but the snapmare takedown into the headlock rest hold certainly may be enough to help her out. Referee kind of just standing there. Could have at least gotten a 1 count, but kind of just letting those two women have that feeling out process. Roll up here, just a 1 count. And you can see it right here, ladies and gentlemen, but it is going to be all out war. It is going to be a long, grueling matchup between both of these women, all for this NXT Women's Championship. And another collar elbow tie up here. You think the first one was going to be interesting. The second one for sure is now the referee going to get involved here, saying, hey, come on now. We've seen enough of the collar elbow tie-ups. As now a third one. Both these women really going to start really with the mind games here. As now with a side collar headlock right now. Oh, Jada Parker from behind. Maybe looking for a suplex of sorts. Maybe a bear hug. Whatever may work here. Oh no, roll through. Referee is right there. Shoulders are down for Tiffany. And now Tiffany able to get out of that. And now going to look to pin Jada Parker here. Bridge out of it. And now another pinfall opportunity. Will Tiffany Stratton lose? No. Big kick out there. As Jada Parker going for a big kick. Tiffany Stratton saw that coming. And now a Boston Crab, middle of the ring. Jada Parker's going to have to somehow get out of it. And she does. And now Parker maybe going to look to put away Tiffany Stratton here later on in this matchup. But no. Jada Parker realizing that maybe not the best time to really try to do that. As I think that the top of that turnbuckle busted open Tiffany Stratton, and Jada Parker talking her stuff here as, oh goodness, her butt connecting right to the ribs there, ladies and gentlemen, as you can briefly see the blood dripping down the face of Tiffany Stratton, ladies and gentlemen. That might be a broken nose, and this is what Jada Parker needs to do if she wants to become NXT Women's Champion. She can't show sympathy. She has to stay on Tiffany Stratton, as now Stratton in a fight for her life right now against Jada Parker, as Parker gets hit with the Alabama Slam out of nowhere. Pinfall. 1, 2. No, and Stratton not enough to put down Jada Parker. Parker. Ooh, looked like Tiffany was trying to steal another victory there. But obviously, what we've seen between both of these women, they are going to do everything in their power to walk out victorious. Lie, cheat, they're stealing their way to victory. It's a corkscrew from the second rope from Stratton. Is that enough? Yes, it is. Tiffany Stratton survives Jada Parker, but she feels the bruises, feels the blood. As this was just moments after she was busted wide open, you'll see the butt used right to the ribs. And it looks like she was going to look to put away Stratton. Stratton, out of nowhere, hitting an Alabama Slam. Was not enough at that moment, but eventually right here, tosses her in the corner, sets her up for that corkscrew. Bam! Actually from the third rope there, and it was enough to put her away live tonight and to retain the NXT Women's Championship. Jada Parker, she put up a fight there for a little bit, but Stratton showing you guys why she's the future of WWE, and she is your NXT Women's Champion.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the NXT North American Championship.
And now it is time for your NXT North American Championship to be defended here at Roadblock, as you're going to see Oba Femi defending it against Javion Evans. As there is your NXT North American Champion Oba Femi with the Nigerian Giant Omos. The Nigerian ruler Oba Femi looks to continue to rule the NXT North American division, with having the Nigerian Giant ruling right next to him as well. And obviously we saw recently on NXT with the likes of Oba Femi and Omos teaming up to take on Trick Williams and Javion Evans. Obviously that got out of hand as well. And now tonight we're going to see literally a massive matchup. A David versus Goliath sorts of type of matchup here tonight. With it being Oba Femi against Javion Evans here live tonight at NXT Roadblock. Who's going to walk out victorious? Is look at the size difference between Omos and Oba Femi. Oba Femi's a big dude, but anyone just standing up against Omos it's a whole different story. And now here comes the OG, the young blood, Javion Evans, making his way down the ring. And could tonight Javion Evans get his first ever singles championship? Be a perfect night to honestly do it here at Roadblock. But hey, the numbers game, it's even tonight. But certainly, even with having Trick Williams at ringside with him, to try to at least make this a numbers game, or an even numbers game, it's still going to be difficult with Omos at ringside. So Evans he's going to have to just worry about Oba Femi. He's beaten Oba Femi before in a non-title matchup. Javion Evans would lose to Omos the following week afterwards. Quite definitive. So we'll see how it fares tonight at this PLE for the North American Championship. Will the NXT Youngblood get his first ever gold here in NXT.
Introducing the challenger from Greensboro, North Carolina, weighing in at 170 pounds, Javon Evans. And his opponent from Lagos, Nigeria, weighing in at 273 pounds, the NXT North American Champion, Oba Femi.
Both men seem like they are ready. I'm ready. I hope everyone at home is ready. As here we go, Oba Femi, Javion Evans. Championship is on the line. And the referee does ring the bell. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Evans versus Oba Femi. And look at right out the gate. You got Evans bringing the fight to Oba Femi. That's what Javion Evans needs to do in this high octane type of matchup. So you got yourself a good old collar elbow tie up, little feeling out process between Evans and Oba Femi. And look at the power game of Oba Femi. I was going to say, it looked like it was going to be a big deal, but Oba Femi in trouble here with the roll-up. And no, Oba Femi can go for the pinfall, but no. Back and forth we go between both men. Another collar elbow tie-up here. Who's going to get the upper hand this time? Evans from behind, going to look to work the ribs, maybe a bear hug, maybe a suplex situation here. Yep, this is a definitely bear hug situation. Trying to just take out all the stamina that Oba Femi has in this matchup. Throw him off the game here. As Omos throwing, grabbing the referee. Oba Femi dealing with Javion Evans here. And look, both men are having these cradles here. As kind of a detriment right there for what Omos did there. We saw a bidding situation from both men, but honestly, I guess that helps out Oba Femi at the time. I mean, it doesn't hurt him necessarily either. As now Evans, drop kick right to the back of the neck. Now this is where Javion Evans has to start building up some of that speed, I would say, against Mr. Oba Femi. Is using the ropes to use a Hurricane Rana, big takedown, and now off the ropes we go here. From that agility into a big super kick right to the temple. Big kick there, right to the ribs. Let's see if Oba Femi can really start maybe some offense here. Big shoulder block takedown there. Or almost like a shoulder bump. Either way you want to call it, highly effective. And Oba Femi looking to use those big boots of his into the big flying shoulder tackle. Takes down Javion Evans into the pinfall. Referee is right there, but just a 1 count. Femi's got to go to work here. And that certainly will not help him with that big takedown there. And now Oba Femi with his own takedown, back and forth. Another pinfall opportunity. I think Oba Femi's getting a little desperate right now. Can't figure out Javion Evans. And obviously Trick Williams at ringside gonna help out Evans as much as possible, as long as Evans focuses on Oba Femi here. So look at those big elbows right across the chest. And now Oba Femi, this is halfway across the ring. Oh goodness. The big man ain't afraid to fly. The Nigerian ruler, the North American champion, not afraid to get his hands dirty. And look at Javion Evans doing the right thing. The young OG being pretty smart there. There's a big elbow connecting there from Evans. Both men trying to figure each other out here. As almost introducing a kendo stick here. It'd be a damn shame if that got involved. As Evans gets hit with a DDT reversal. I think Evans was maybe thinking about putting on the top rope, possibly. I don't know for sure, but he gets hit with a pop-up powerbomb. Is this enough? 1, 2, 3 it is. Obafemi out of nowhere with that pump up powerbomb. And Obafemi has defeated Javion Evans. Look at some of the highlights of this impressive back and forth matchup. Obafemi with that flying shoulder tackle. And look at this impressive halfway across the ring from the second turnbuckle. Ever impressive there. Leading to Obafemi eventually hitting the pump-up powerbomb and connecting to retain his NXT North American Championship. Doesn't matter the struggles this big man goes through. Ultimately, at the end of the day, he continues to be the top guy, one of the top guys here in NXT. The ruler is still champion. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, it is Shawn Spears, the chairman, the man that loves to hit people with chairs. Shawn Spears, he takes on the NXT debut of Ricky Saints. Big time opportunity for Shawn Spears. Obviously with a win over Ricky Saints, who's making his debut, will get Shawn Spears more opportunities. But hey, if Ricky Saints picks up a big win in his NXT debut here in NXT, hey, more opportunities possibly down the line. You just never know. But certainly a breakout match for Ricky Saints to really show everyone what has got everyone's attention with this signing here to NXT. And obviously Shawn Spears, he's trying to find himself here. Obviously we all saw how he was growing up into WWE, being a part of the NXT, being the perfect 10, would be on the main roster for a little bit, left WWE to find himself, comes back years later here in NXT, the chairman, that more aggressive side, being aggressive with that steel chair. We'll see how it fares in this match. Hopefully Shawn Spears doesn't use that tonight in the match against Ricky Saints. And there is Ricky Saints, ladies and gentlemen, making his NXT debut, and it happens to be a PLE pay-per-view. Look at this crowd here tonight in Orlando, absolutely loving this young man. I believe he can bring a lot to the table here in NXT. I believe he can as well. I've seen some matches, very impressive what he brings to the table, and I think people that have not seen what he can bring to the table, you're going to be in for a treat if everything goes the way Ricky Saints wants it to go. But obviously you're going to see a lot of mind games, a lot of different things from Shawn Spears, so really looking forward to seeing how this is going to turn out. And honestly, I think this is Shawn Spears' first PLE for NXT wise that I can really think of, unless I'm going blank on some things. This is a big time moment for Shawn Spears and obviously Ricky Saints. Big time opportunity. As here we go. Shawn Spears, Ricky Saints, here tonight. Referee has officially rung the bell. Something has to give in this hard-hitting matchup. That spinning forearm strike right there to Shawn Spears knocks him out briefly. Saints going to go high risk here. And now Ricky Saints, flying cross body, takes down the chairman. This is what Saints needs to do. Come out here very unpredictable. And obviously, if a lot of people don't know, both these men on the independent scenes wrestled for the same company quite a bit of times. I mean, not necessarily against each other, but they were in the same company. So definitely, I would believe these guys may have studied each other enough. Spears with those big haymakers right there. Certainly not going to be feeling the best here. So big forearm strikes right to the middle of that back. Now, Mr. Shawn Spears looking to go high risk from the second rope. Spears, bam! What a drop kick halfway across the ring. And Ricky Saints just needed a quick moment to get himself out of the ring, but now Saints could be in trouble. Here comes the tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. That back is not going to be feeling good. Middle of the ring, is that enough? No, just one. This is where Shawn Spears can be very, very deadly, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, for Ricky Saints' sake, he can figure out Shawn Spears very, very quickly here. As Spears building up some momentum with a big clothesline, that running clothesline into the corner. Ricky Saints again doing the right thing, rolling out of the ring, realizing he could be in trouble here. Oh, a nice reversal from Ricky Saints there. And now, can he capitalize? Shawn Spears is down, middle of the ring, big elbow across the chest. Can Saints pick up a victory? 2, no, 2.5. Ricky Saints believed that was going to be enough. Maybe back in the day that may have been enough to put away Shawn Spears, but still a lot of fight in Shawn Spears. And now, oh, big kick to the middle of the back. That's me feeling very bad, but if Spears is able to win tonight, might feel a little bit better for him. Let's look at these devastating haymakers right to the face, unprotected shots. And now Saints firing himself up here, realizing this may be the opportunity to put away Shawn Spears. Super kick with a glancing blow, but Spears, just like that, drops him on his head, and he gets the momentum back in his favor. Pinfall referee is right there. 2. Ooh, was that a 2? No, just a 1. Very close to a 2. 1.99. Spears now. Uh-oh. Looking to put him away. Oh, goodness. Dropping him right on his knee. Spears, though, not done. Looking to put the cherry on top of the sundae. Here we go. Shawn Spears takes down Saints. Will this be a bad NXT debut for Ricky Saints? No! Saints kicks out, and Shawn Spears cannot believe it. And now this is where Shawn Spears can either kind of dig down deep even further and continuing to bring the fight against this young man, or this is where he can get frustrated and get kind of drop the ball of all sorts. We're about to find out. Here comes Ricky Saints, roll through into the kick to the side of the skull, into the corner. Ricky Saints all fired up, and so is this crowd. Something's got to give here. Saints, this has got to be the moment, as Ricky Saints with a Canadian Destroyer turns him inside out. Is that enough to put him away? 2, 3, yes it is. That Canadian Destroyer out of nowhere helps Ricky Saints walk out victorious here tonight, live at NXT Roadblock. What a stinking match, ladies and gentlemen. Shawn Spears there for the longest time. It honestly looked like it was going to be enough, but Starks able to continue to fight, scratch, and claw. And you saw it tonight. What a win. Let's look at this. I thought this was going to be the end. Right there, dropping him right on the knee. Spears looking for that Death Valley driver of sorts. Has him up, puts him down right in the ring. And let's look how close this is. 1, 2, oh, 2.9. And then this right here, Ricky Saints changed it all, turned it on its head here. Saints with the big clothesline takes down Shawn Spears. And then obviously Ricky Saints puts him up right here for a good old-fashioned Canadian Destroyer. And that was all she wrote. And Ricky Saints wins his NXT debut live tonight in Orlando, Florida. What a back-and-forth matchup there. Saints, he's going to be a game changer for NXT, ladies and gentlemen. Shawn Spears, he's going to be a game changer for NXT as well. Cannot wait to see where all this continues to go to the next PLE. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is a tag team matchup, a Tornado Tag Team 6-man tag team matchup. as it will be Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, Angel, and Berto taking on the LWO. As there you can see Angel and Berto. Berto on the right, Angel on the left. Santos Escobar, he looked phenomenal in that Gold Rush tournament. Ultimately, it came down to Santos Escobar and Dragon Lee, with Escobar picking up the win. And certainly after the matchup, Dragon Lee, Santos Escobar, friendly, both men celebrating the LWO pride. And ultimately, everyone was not expecting the shocking betrayal of Santos Escobar doing what he did to Dragon Lee, sending a absolute message. And it wasn't only that, but also Escobar recruiting a new version of Legado del Fantasma with Angel and Berto, formerly known as Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. A lot of opportunities for all three of these men, but for Santos Escobar, he won that Gold Rush tournament, so he gets an NXT championship match anytime. He just has to name the place. As now here comes the LWO, Rey Mysterio, Hakeem Wilde, and Cruz del Toro. LWO feeling absolutely proud for themselves tonight. But at one time, this was going to be an elimination six-man tag team matchup. But Adam Pearce, he said, hey, I want this to be a straight-up tornado tag team match. We want chaos. You guys, it's going to break down between all of you guys no matter what. So let's just have a tornado tag team six-man tag. And both sides were perfectly fine with that, signed on the dotted lines. And tonight, you're going to see yourselves a good old-fashioned tornado tag team match in the middle of this very ring. Rey Mysterio, a WWE Hall of Famer, looking to put Santos Escobar in his place. Same with the rest of the LWO. Going to make Santos Escobar regret the day that they turned his back on the LWO. Referee has officially rung the bell. You got Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar going at it. This matchup is going to be hard to call, ladies and gentlemen. We already got ourselves a pinfall opportunity. Obviously, it's not enough just yet, but certainly a lot of great things coming your way here on NXT tonight, especially in this tag team matchup. Hey, maybe the winning team, maybe they could be get themselves next in line for a tag team title opportunity, depending on who wins the night between the Hardys and A-Town Down Under. It's a spinning DDT, tornado DDT, right in the middle of the ring. Is now Angel, big kick to Cruz del Toro. Now Angel going to go after Cruz del Toro, or I should say Hakeem Wilde, taking out the knee. And now Berto, I believe, yep, Berto looking to go high risk here. Angel looking to maybe put somebody through a table, and look at that missile drop kick. And now Angel going to work with the kendo stick. Big Hurricane Rana as well, as Santos Escobar looking to put away Rey Mysterio. And I think for Santos Escobar, I think he's going to be calculated, with what exactly he's going to use his NXT Championship opportunity. It's a Gold Rush opportunity, obviously, but he's going to use it to his advantage. Obviously, he's not just going to waste it on a random episode. It's going to be when, maybe no one expects it of sorts. Now, Santos Escobar with almost like a submission hold arm bar, and then you got almost a submission hold there over by the announce table to your right of your screen there. And Santos and Rey Mysterio continuing to go at it. We saw briefly on NXT number of weeks ago when Angel and Berto would be fighting the LWO backstage there. Everything just breaking down between both sides. Right now you're seeing kendo sticks involved, another kendo stick being involved. This is all to really see who can not only get the upper hand, but obviously Santos Escobar, he wants to lead his group to this new version of Legado del Fantasma into a better direction. As a big Canadian destroyer, or you could say Mexican destroyer, there from Berto to Rey Mysterio. And now you got Hakeem Wilde and Santos Escobar in the middle of the ring. And now look at Escobar bringing the fight to Hakeem Wilde. And Rey Mysterio has said a lot of these new Lucha Libre superstars were the future. As hold on, that frog splash out of nowhere from Santos Escobar. Is that enough? Yes, it is. I was trying to say Santos Escobar has said a lot of, or I should say Rey Mysterio has said a lot of stuff about the Lucha Libre wrestling style, the likes of saying Dragon Lee, Penta, Rey Fenix, all these guys are the future of the Lucha Libre division, and Escobar really never heard his name and took an exception to that. And obviously one of the main reasons why Escobar turned his back on the LWO, and you just saw, ladies and gentlemen, Santos Escobar and company picking up a massive win tonight as Escobar with a frog splash on Hakeem Wild right there, as everyone else was dealing with company there at ringside, and Legado del Fantasma picks up the win tonight. And for Legado del Fantasma, are they done with the LWO? Can they set them sights on title contention? We'll maybe find out on the next episode of NXT. Really looking forward to see where Legado del Fantasma goes from here.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the NXT Women's North American Championship.
And now this will be the first time we see Thea Hale after being attacked and decimated from Nikita Lyons a number of weeks ago, as Thea Hale being attacked by Nikita Lyons, tossed in the middle of the ring. We saw a cash in and Nikita Lyons walk out with the NXT North American Championship. But can Thea Hale get some revenge? She looks like she is fired up for Chase University. She even has her professor Andre Chase out here at ringside with her, pardon me. And so certainly a big opportunity, but also, will Thea Hale use her anger to a disadvantage? Will she be kind of short-sighted in the terms of not focusing on winning the matchup? Will she be mostly focused on beating down and getting revenge against Nikita Lyons? That's a big question that needs to be thrown out there, especially in this matchup. But with Andre Chase at ringside, it's probably the main reason he's out here, to try to cool her down, which is a great idea, to be honest with you. As now here comes the NXT North American Champion, Nikita Lyons. The Lion of NXT, sick and tired of people stepping over her, getting those opportunities. And she said, hey, you know what? I'm not going after the NXT Women's Championship. I'm not cashing in on that. I'm taking on someone that is someone, pardon me, that is shouldn't even be in NXT. And obviously it's kind of rude, obviously, of Nikita Lyons to say, with Thea Hale being here in NXT. Yeah, she's shorter, may not be as strong as her, but hey, Thea Hale has absolute fire, the will to win. And obviously if you're signed to NXT, there's something about you. It's not like you just got signed off the street and you didn't know wrestling whatsoever. Thea Hale knows how to wrestle, and Nikita Lyons is going to have to deal with her actions tonight. Will it be good or bad? We're going to find out.
Introducing the challenger from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Thea Hale. And her opponent from Los Angeles, California, the NXT Women's North American Champion, Nikita Lyons.
And now it is put up or shut up time for Nikita Lyons. Was that sneak attack enough to play mind games and get in the head of Thea Hale, or will Thea Hale be able to use that against Nikita Lyons to become a two-time champion? Referees ring the bell. Here we go. And look at those punches, little jabs there from Nikita Lyons. Probably not something Thea was probably expecting early on here. Little collar elbow tie up. Thea Hale getting the advantage, working that wrist lock of sorts. And sometimes these type of maneuvers work perfectly against your opponent because they're not expecting this, especially early on. And that twisting of that arm. And now Thea Hale with a big takedown there of the champion. And Thea Hale coming out perfectly out of the gate, or at least was momentarily. And now these big strikes to the temple with the midsection. But now Thea Hale, though, little collar elbow tie up again between both women. Thea Hale has her hand right in the hair of Nikita Lyons. Certainly not going to be a perfect matchup between both women. It is going to be very fiery, very testy from the get-go, I can tell you that. But certainly, you know, Thea Hale's going to want to get her championship back. Send a message to Nikita Lyons that she's not going to get bullied. That Nikita Lyons can't do whatever she damn well wants to do. Big haymaker. Nikita Lyons has her in the corner here. And oh, look at this. This big boot right in the corner there. Perfectly legal within the 5 count. Now, Nikita Lyons, telling her she's going to break her in half. Oh no, almost like a Bronco Buster of sorts in the corner. And Andre Chase having to watch this very unfortunate circumstances right now, as now Nikita Lyons 3/4 of the ring away with an impressive elbow drop. And now almost like a submission hold here of sorts, working that left knee, working that left ankle, trying to just decimate Thea Hale right now. Oh, knee strike. Thea Hale ran right into that. That might be a knockout blow. I'm surprised Nikita Lyons didn't just try to go for the pinfall off that, honestly. As Lyons talking some trash to Andre Chase there real quick. And now Lyons with an Irish whip off the ropes here. Thea Hale, though, with the reversal. A much needed reversal from Thea Hale. From behind now, big German suplex. Big time back suplex. And now Thea gonna go high risk, high reward situation. Now Nikita Lyons, the champion, now she's in trouble. Here we go, Thea Hale, flying crossbody, just a glancing blow, did not get all of it, and now she's going to have to go back to the well one more time here to really figure out what she needs to do. Now both women are outside here. Oh, big time drop kick takes down Nikita Lyons. This matchup is a no count out type matchup, ladies and gentlemen, so anything will go. Obviously both these women can use the whole time that they want to. Referee going to be very lenient when it comes to these type of matches. When it comes to that type of stuff, is now Thea Hale telling Nikita Lyons to get up to her feet here. Thea Hale with the suicide dive takes down the champion. Thea Hale with the momentum. Can she regain her championship? But oh, good gracious. What a forearm strike from Nikita Lyons. And just when you might think Thea Hale might be getting herself back in this matchup, Nikita Lyons just continues to decimate her. And now she's not done. The Lion is looking to fly. High risk with a drop kick. Tossing her right against that barricade. And now Thea Hale's in trouble here, being brutalized by the champion. Big elbows right to the midsection. That is certainly not going to be feeling too good for Nikita Lyons, as both these women continuing to go back and forth. Nikita Lyons being Irish whipped down to the other side of the arena. And oh, yep, this was bound up to happen. Thea Hale, she has snapped. And now running off. Oh, nope. She's gonna go high risk here. Thea Hale, what is she thinking here? Besides being high risk, big axe handle takes down Nikita. Does Thea think about putting Nikita Lyons in that table to our left with our fellow colleagues Byron Saxton, Michael Cole, and Corey Graves? Thea Hale trying to decide what she's wanting to do right now. She's probably thinking about a million things right now. but using the weapons underneath the ring, using the steel steps, using these damn tables to get some revenge. But she has to be careful in this matchup not to get disqualified. And look at Thea Hale, nice senton right there to the midsection there, continuing to keep Nikita Lyons down. And now going to toss her back inside the ring. Here is the moment for Thea Hale, I believe, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Thea Hale from the second rope. Big time frog splash to the lower back. Trying to decimate her at all costs. Referee's right there. Shoulders are down. 2. No. Strong kick out. Strong kick out there. The matchup continues. Well, or it may not last too much longer. Thea Hale. Kimura lock. Kimura lock. Middle of the ring. Will she have to tap out? Will she have to tap? Nikita Lyons, yes she does. Nikita Lyons taps out, and we have ourselves a new NXT Women's North American Champion. The reign did not last long for Nikita Lyons. That is Thea Hale to a T, ladies and gentlemen. She's going to fight, she's going to scratch and claw. And Andre Chase, her professor, out here to make sure she is doing the right thing, ladies and gentlemen. And she kept a even temper tonight and walked out victorious with an eventual pinfall. Not there, but in the next clip with the submission with the Kimura lock, making her tap out in the middle of that ring. First ever two-time Women's North American Champion is Thea Hale. Not going to be I'm trying to be right down the middle, but that is a great win for Thea Hale tonight, knocking off Nikita Lyons to become your new North American champ. And now, it is your co-main event of the evening. It is for the vacated NXT Tag Team Champions, ladies and gentlemen. It will be Matt and Jeff Hardy, the Hardy Boys, Team Extreme. They are here tonight. They are officially signed to NXT. They are challenging for the NXT Championships. And obviously for the Hardy Boys, when they first came back, they had to obviously fight Scratch and Claw, defeated A-Town Down Under to get the opportunity to challenge for the NXT Tag Team Championships. But the NXT Tag Team Champions, they got released. They left WWE, and then we had to find our next in-line challengers. We saw a triple threat tornado tag team match to really determine who would be next in line, and obviously A-Town Down Under was the other team to get involved, and we'll see tonight who's the better tag team between A-Town Down Under and the Hardy Boys. And obviously Matt Hardy looking to delete A-Town Down Under here tonight to add another championship reign in the lengthy tag team career of Matt and Jeff Hardy. And there is the ever cocky confidence Austin Theory, Grayson Waller. They didn't get the study the first time that they fought the Hardy Boys, but now they have. They know what to expect, obviously, from the Hardy Boys. So will that work in the favor of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller? Will they finally be able to win gold together? Theory is a former United States champion and a tag team champion here in Universe Mode. Grayson Waller looking to win his first championship gold here tonight with Austin Theory. Will we feel that Grayson Waller effect? This is a real proving ground tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And once we get closer to once this match kind of gets started, as well as we'll bring it up for the main event as well, about the next pay-per-view It is a pay-per-view that a lot of you lovely consumers of our universe mode really have heard of this pay-per-view, and you'll really know what to expect. And a lot of little qualifying matches and whatnot to be in those matches. We'll talk about it here shortly, but there is the Tag Team Championships for the vacated Tag Team Championships, as we got Jeff Hardy and Grayson Waller kicking us off here. The referee has officially rung the bell. Here we go. Grayson Waller, though, kicking us right off with that big uppercut. As like we mentioned, this is your co-main event of the evening, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about this early on here, since I just said it moments ago. So obviously we've seen plenty of big-time pay-per-views throughout the years for NXT. Obviously NXT Stand and Deliver, a big pay-per-view that is saved for the end of the year of NXT, obviously WrestleMania weekend and everything. So something that sets up NXT Stand and Deliver, it will be NXT Deadline. That you heard correctly. NXT Deadline will be the next pay-per-view that is in store, and that will be Royal Rumble weekend, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to have survivor matches of sorts that we're going to be seeing in those type of matches, where you're going to see, I believe it's going to be, normally I believe we did 5 superstars. It might change to 6 this year. We'll see what Adam Pearce is thinking, but it's a big time matches. We're going to see qualifying matches for both the for the men's division and women's division here on NXT. So it's honestly a lot of great things. We honestly might even see 4 of these guys that are in this match a part of this match. So honestly, it would be it's honestly going to be a lot of great things. So the matchup is officially called the Iron Survivor match for the men's and women's side of things. There will be a set time limit and everything like that. Most pinfalls and submissions within the, let's say, 20 minutes that we have. With the most pinfalls and submissions will walk out victorious. And obviously, if there were to be a situation where we run into a tie or anything, there would be like a sudden death situation between how many, pinfalls and submissions have happened. But we'll talk about that more. But ladies and gentlemen, NXT Deadline will be Royal Rumble weekend. So we're a little over I would probably say about less than 2 months away from that, as a leg drop misses. And certainly with NXT Deadline, obviously that sets up a lot of things for NXT Stand and Deliver, because the winner will get the challenge for the NXT Championship and also the NXT Women's Championship. So we'll see how that fares. There's some good old snake eyes there from Theory. Waller going to get tagged into this very matchup. Certainly going to do everything in his power to put down Jeff Hardy. And Waller just feeling ever cocky, confident. This young man certainly at times can back it up. But you would think for a man that has never won a championship here in Universe Mode would want to be more focused, more determined. I'm not saying you can't be cocky, confident every once in a while, but certainly when you're taking on a tag team so experienced, like the Hardy Boys, you gotta be locked in. Is now Grayson Waller going from the top rope here, the high-risk district, halfway, or about a quarter away. We'll see how this is going to fare. Oh, big-time flying clothesline takes down Matt Hardy. The Hardy Boys may be in trouble here. It's exactly not what Theory and Waller wanted, or they want to hear that, but obviously the Hardy Boys don't want to hear that they are in trouble. And certainly this matchup obviously already going longer than the first matchup, because Theory and Waller didn't know who they were facing. And that's not always an excuse. You got to obviously be ready for anything, but in this situation, it's you get time to prepare. You had a free agent signing in the Hardy Boys. It's a lot of different things. It's all, come on, ref. I mean, he's telling them within the 5-second rule, but come on. Now Theory gonna go for the pinfall. Will this be enough? No, just a strong 1 count. A big submission hold here. Taking it to Matt Hardy. Referee is right there. I don't think Matt's going to tap out, but you never know how much damage is done. Obviously, being in WWE, those bumps and bruises, they build up quickly. And now, back body drop takes down Austin Theory. And now the charismatic Enigma, Jeff Hardy, looking to go on the prowl here. Look to take out Austin Theory. Another matchup. All these matches are no count out. Really gives you the wait a minute, twist of fate of sorts on the outside here. That very well could help the Hardy Boys. Let's see if that's going to be the game changer. Let's see if that is going to be the thing that helps the Hardy Boys win the NXT Tag Team Championships. Shoulders are down, referee in position, but just a one count. Pardon me. And now, oh, look at this. Oh, nice leg drop there from Jeff Hardy. The king of the TLC matchup with his brother, Matt Hardy, as a swan-ton bomb, middle of the ring, shoulders are down. Are we going to see the new champions go to the Hardy Boys? Yes, we do. Grayson Waller not breaking it up. Very shocking to say the least. But that twist of fate at the ringside changed up the trajectory of this very matchup, ladies and gentlemen. And just like that, the Hardy Boys again have defeated A-Town Down Under and are your tag team champions. Waller with that big time clothesline earlier on in the matchup. A little cheapness between Austin Theory there to Matt Hardy. Ultimately, we see the tags going to work there. We would see Jeff Hardy connect with a twist of fate here at ringside. Bam, almost like a twist of fate stunner of sorts, taking him down. But ultimately, the Swanton Bomb and Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy are back on top of the tag team division, and they are your NXT Tag Team Champions. You hate to see Gallus leave, but hey, the Matt and Jeff Hardy era here in the tag team division starts tonight.
The following is a triple threat match and is for the NXT Championship.
It is main event time here, live at NXT Roadblock. Shinsuke Nakamura, one of the men challenging for the NXT Championship, is here tonight. He is a former Universal Champion, former United States Champion. Nakamura looking to add the NXT Championship to his lustrous career. And obviously, with Nakamura being drafted to NXT, you know, everyone was wondering, well, how does Nakamura fit in? Well, obviously, you would see Shawn Spears getting involved and attacking Drew McIntyre after Ethan Page dealt with Drew McIntyre and everything, and all of a sudden Nakamura would come out and attack Shawn Spears and kind of de-escalate the situation, and then ultimately Nakamura would kind of get his name out there, getting himself into a triple threat match for the NXT Championship, even defeating Shawn Spears at one point. But Ethan Page would defeat Shinsuke Nakamura a number of weeks ago. So, you know, when it comes to this stuff, I believe McIntyre does have a win over Ethan Page as well. So certainly, it really feels like there's wins all sorts, all over the board here in WWE. These guys know each other inside out. Obviously, McIntyre does with Nakamura. Ethan Page, not really too familiar per se with Nakamura and Drew McIntyre, but certainly you don't necessarily need to have the biggest knowledge to get the job done in the middle of this ring, as here comes the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre. We saw Drew McIntyre on Friday Night SmackDown win the game. The WWE chairman himself, the game Triple H, came out, announced who the two SmackDown superstars would be joining his team to take on Drew McIntyre live there at Survivor Series. Triple H's team versus Drew McIntyre's team. We don't know Drew McIntyre's team just yet, but I'm assuming we will find out very, very soon. But for the SmackDown side of things, we know at least two of them. Big E and the big man, Bronson Reed. Those are two massive names that McIntyre has to be ready for. And certainly, does Nakamura, or I should say, does McIntyre try to recruit the likes of Nakamura and Ethan Page, Obafemi, Omos, Trick Williams, Javion Evans? Plenty of other big names here in NXT. Who does Drew McIntyre recruit? He's got to get three names. Obviously, he has all the way through Survivor Series to get that, but, you know, it's going to be very interesting to see. And obviously, depending on the results of your main event tonight, it is going to be thrown out there. Oh, you know, what's going to happen? You know, if McIntyre wins the NXT Championship, you know, there's plenty of possibilities here. As there is all ego, Ethan Page. He's your NXT champion, has held that NXT championship for about a couple months now. But we'll see if the all ego reign will continue here tonight, live at NXT Roadblock. Certainly it is definitely a roadblock for Ethan Page, trying to get through the Scottish Warrior and the King of Strong Style. But for Ethan Page, having that 33.3% chance, obviously he doesn't have to be pinned or submitted for them to win the championship. So Ethan Page, you know, it's going to be very interesting to kind of see what his mindset is going into this matchup and really see what he wants to do to try to retain his NXT championship. There we go, Nakamura, McIntyre, and Ethan Page. NXT Championship is on the line. And the main event is officially started. Here we go. Ethan Page, Drew McIntyre going at it right away here. Not taking any time to figure each other out whatsoever. Look at these King of Strong style strikes. One of the most devastating strikers in WWE history is Shinsuke Nakamura. That's a big boot right across the chest there. And I think for McIntyre, I mean, you got to consider Nakamura. Even if you guys did have a previous, you know, I would say rivalry of sorts when Nakamura was the leader of D-Generation X and everything like that. But the thing is, do you trust Nakamura would be the question. Same for Ethan Page. Ethan Page is very, very calculated on how he runs things. Could you trust him if you decided to recruit him? It is just damned if you do, damned if you don't when it comes to certain things. Is Nakamura. Big knee right across the collarbone there. And Nakamura going to go back to the NXT champion here. Giving away 2-for-1 specials. There's a big knee right to the collarbone area as well. Referee is in position. But a strong kick out from Page. McIntyre still down, trying to recuperate from that big knee to the shoulder area. And now Nakamura going to look to fly again here. Right here to Drew McIntyre, former WWE champion, former King of the Ring winner. Nakamura going to that flying crossbody. McIntyre did not want any of that. And he connects with a back suplex. And Ethan Page was able to take down McIntyre. This type of matchup, ladies and gentlemen, anything goes. Chairs, tables, kendo sticks, anything to put your opponent away. And now McIntyre gonna still stay down here as Nakamura working on Ethan Page in the corner here. Ooh, big haymaker there from Nakamura and a big time over the head exploder suplex. And this is what has led Nakamura to win big matches. Usually he would set up with a Kinshasa, but he was hoping this was going to be enough to put away McIntyre, but McIntyre stays in it. And uh-oh, it's time to swing for the fences. It seems as though kendo stick shot right to the middle of that back, and now attacking the knees of Drew McIntyre. How much more can both of these men sustain tonight? Oh, McIntyre able to slip out of it. McIntyre with those big haymakers. And now McIntyre, pile driver, right in the middle of the ring. And now it seems McIntyre wants to grab a weapon. And oh, ain't that ironic, a sledgehammer. We all know that obviously Triple H, that the good old-fashioned sledgehammer, is what Triple H loves to use. Will that be enough to walk out champion? No. And that sledgehammer right to the temple of Ethan Page, man, that is absolutely brutal to say the least. And now, Drew McIntyre has Nakamura on the top rope. This is going to end bad for both men, honestly. Oh, no. McIntyre has him up. McIntyre down goes Nakamura. And now McIntyre going to work on Ethan Page here off the ropes into the Claymore. Claymore strike to Ethan Page. But Ethan Page doing the right thing, at least rolling, trying to get up to his feet. Now you got ourselves a good old-fashioned baseball bat. And now swinging for the fences is Drew McIntyre. Pinfall opportunity, but now a strong kick out. Who is going to walk out with the NXT Championship? Will it be Ethan Page, or will it be McIntyre or Nakamura? These guys have all been beating the snot out of each other from the get-go here. It's a big clothesline, takes down the NXT Champion. Pinfall opportunity. Ethan Page got hit earlier on with the Claymore. That very well could have been it, but no, Page realizes it. And that's pure adrenaline, ladies and gentlemen. And now Drew McIntyre. Is it time for Claymore Country? Yes, it is. McIntyre setting up Nakamura. Claymore, he got all of it. Right to the temple. And now McIntyre, he wants Ethan Page. Oh, goodness, right to the shoulder blade. Down goes Ethan Page. Pinfall, but Ethan Page right back up to his feet and stops it. McIntyre should have kept him down a little bit longer, as now Nakamura is back up to his feet. Ethan Page with that spinning rock bottom of sorts. And now Ethan Page going to go to work with that trusty sledgehammer. Oh, nice Nakamura with a nice drag or takedown. But no, DDT right on the sledgehammer. And everyone's realizing they're in a bad predicament. And look at McIntyre. He's like, not today, Junior. As McIntyre tossed right into that barricade of sorts. And then a big time scoop slide. Now we're getting down to the nitty gritty of this matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Next big move has to win this as Nakamura doing the stanky leg. He's telling Ethan Page to get up to his feet here. Could be time for a good old-fashioned... looks like McIntyre and Nakamura are going to work together there. Didn't work out his favorite. Big twist of fate. And now McIntyre with a big suplex. Now Nakamura, who's been taking on the equation with that twist of fate. And Drew McIntyre is your NXT champion. That certainly was a roadblock for Ethan Page tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But it all came to an end. Ethan Page, though, he did hit the twist of fate on twist of fate for a big time moment in that matchup, but eventually, look at that sledgehammer right to the face of Ethan Page. But it was a back and forth matchup. Drew McIntyre is your NXT champion. He is a former NXT champion. Add it to a major list of things right here. Look at this double head colliding there. The twist of fate to Nakamura. McIntyre, though, from behind would take him out of the equation, leading to a pinfall on Nakamura. and Drew McIntyre is your NXT champion. I can't believe I'm saying that. Drew McIntyre is your NXT champion. It's all because he lost that tag team match at the King of the Ring. Drew McIntyre down here in NXT. He is your new NXT champion, and the reign of the Scottish Warrior begins tonight. Tonight's episode of NXT Roadblock was something special. We saw that with the new champions. We saw the scratching and clawing. We saw the PLE debuts of Julia and Stephanie Vaquer. They are the new women's NXT tag team champions. As well as we weren't done crowning new champions, as the Hardy Boys are your new NXT tag team champions. We seen Obafemi retain. We saw Drew McIntyre become the new NXT champion. Tonight was just the start of something historic for the brand of NXT, and you'll see exactly what I mean in the coming weeks of what I mean with that. But NXT Roadblock is over and done with. Now we set our eyes on NXT Deadline, setting up matches for the Iron Survivor men's side and women's side, with plenty other big time matches. Thank you everyone that showed up tonight and supported NXT Roadblock. These guys, men and women, absolutely appreciate it, even if they don't go out of their way to say it. We appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight, and hopefully the road to NXT Deadline has officially started tonight.